stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon, everyone. I simplified things. I'm done sharing. I forgot to change my pants. Oh well, that's all right. It's not like you guys see my legs anyway. This is Sebastian. So, all right, I'm gonna try and do things from over here. Hopefully that works out. But if you are here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Let me get to the captions here. There we go. All right. Welcome to Daily Trudge. Please say hello. All right. And yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I usually have stuff I like to talk about before I get started. Making a couple changes, like I said, making it easier on myself. I went ahead and decided to spend $15 extra on Restream so that I could get this out. It's just important to me, and if it's gonna be $15 is the reason, then fuck it. I'll cut back on 2 packs of cigarettes, cover that charge. Sawyer. And I need to get a monitor too. So we are moving along, but it's Sunday, and I hardly ever have really people on here. I can tell the face. So that's Jerry. Good morning or good afternoon, Jerry. Also, I wanted to bring up, what would you guys think if I did this at 1:15 in the afternoon every day? Because it's the one time. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go. My dog's deaf, so there you go. She wasn't always deaf, but thankfully I've always done hand signals with her too. So poor thing. Anyway, let me know if 1:15 is a good time. I think it is because it's right after my noon meeting, and that's really when you guys want to catch me. That, and I think, with me going to a noon meeting first, that my cobwebs will be out, and I just think it'll be more effective. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. I'm gonna start working on that. So starting tomorrow, the Daily Trudge will be at 1:15. I've created a new page for the Daily Trudge, just for the Daily Trudge, just for it, because a lot of people are not getting the notice. So let's get to the 4 agreements. Let's get to that, because you guys don't want to hear about my business. It's not why you logged on. We're here to talk about the 4 agreements and how does this combine with recovery. Because the 4 agreements is not an AA book. It's not a recovery book. Okay. It's a self-help book. Okay. Now, we talk a lot about self-help. Right. And that self-help necessarily isn't always the best way. But I'm going to tell you something. You can either be in a self-help program or a help yourself program. They're both the same damn thing. Okay. Doesn't mean that we don't have guys, that we don't have things, but why not build on your current experience with things that are impeccable? Let's do that. Right. And that word came up because I saw it. The first one is, I can't read it, so I wish I had a monitor. That's welcome to Daily Trudge. The first one for reals this time is be impeccable with your word. And I have descriptions here for these so that I'm not just pulling them all out of my yin yang here. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the words to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. And your words have a lot of meaning. They do. That's just I can never stress enough how important storytelling is in the program. It provides hope. These people can sit down. I mean, I hear people say all the time, I read the first 164 pages. I got nothing from it. And that's because they didn't have a guide. That's understandable. But when they got to the stories, they started to get hooked a little bit. Wait a minute, that is me. Oh, what they were saying before. Okay. I just might have a problem with my drinking. Okay. No gossip. We do not gossip about others. If I'm talking with somebody and they're gossiping about others, I do not join, and I probably won't talk to that person very much after, because that means that they're gossiping about me, and I just don't need that stuff anymore. I don't need that in my life. I'm easily distracted. Okay. And especially when it's something around something that I'm passionate about. Okay. So in our sense, what does this mean? That means that 90% of the time we're going to keep our fucking mouth shut. That's what it means to you and me. Because half of what goes through this head before I actually think about it is bullshit. Even now. In 5 days, I'll have 6 years, and even now, sure. That's that it that I don't know that always totally changes, because that's never happened to me, but I've gotten better at it, right? So the key here is going through your day and living it so that you don't have to make amends at the end of the day. My cat decided it was okay to twirl around the camera there. Ow! To smack his butt. I think he enjoyed it. That hurt. Okay. The second agreement, and this one's really, really hard for me. Don't take anything personally. That's hard. It is. It's correct. But this one's the hardest for me. Nothing others do is because of you. Ouch. I am not the center of the universe. Would I like to be? Yeah, kind of. There's a part of me that does. I tend to thrive on how I'm helping other people, man. I get a great joy out of that. Yeah. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own. And you do not know their reality. You're not in their shoes, right? Okay. So I take these. Well, let's put them into positive things, right? They're of their own reality and their own dreams. They have their own dreams too. Okay. And maybe they're trying to strive for that dream, and they do something that offends. I go through this. Right. I have some friends that I don't really feel like they're friends because their actions don't support what I do. And trust me, that's the very short version. It actually goes in direct conflict of what I'm trying to get done. Right. I'm not going to go into why, because then I'm going to be taking it personally, aren't I? I no more. Nope. Okay. Those people are not doing that to hurt me. Okay. I am not, I don't have that much power, guys. Period. And if you allow me power over you, then that sucks. Well, actually, if you let me have power over you, I'm going to give it back somehow. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. And it is. It's needless suffering. Okay. Now, you may be going through more of an extent of that, but I'm not going to get into that. In general, this is correct. What other people's opinions are about me really are none of my business, good or bad. That's really cool. That I like the light that shines right there. It looks like I thought about putting like a street lamp right there. It's just an overhead light. It worked out really well. All right. The next one, I like this one. I do. And it goes with the last one we just talked about. Don't make assumptions. Okay. Assumptions. What does it do? Well, they say that it makes an ass out of you and me. I'm going to tell you something. If you assume something about me, you take your assums over there because I'm not involved in it. Okay. You can assume all you want, but it doesn't make an ass out of me. I'm not a big one on that. But we can't make assumptions. What is making assumptions? That means that we are taking other people's inventory. That's what that means to us. Okay. That means we are focused on somebody else's shit. Not cool. Find the courage to ask questions and express what you really want. So, you said this, and I want to make sure that I'm hearing it right. Do you mind if I ask a couple questions? There is never anything wrong with asking questions. Now, you don't have to be a dick about it. In fact, don't be a dick about it. Okay. This is what usually happens with assumptions. I don't want to ask the question because it'll make me feel stupid. You're human. You are naive about certain things. I'm naive about a lot of things. I come in here and talk about things that I know. Okay? If you guys wanted to talk cryptocurrency, I wouldn't. We'd already be done because I don't know it. I am naive about it. I'm actually, and I bring that up because I'm curious about it. And I'm thinking about, I know somebody in my life that he's in his early 30s. There's no reason not to ask, right? To assume. I went through this with the podcast. Oh, they're not going to want to be on my show. I was assuming that. So now when I ask somebody to be on the podcast, I almost assume you're going to do it. What I actually do is I've taken assume and I have replaced it with a word called presume. Okay. I do not assume anything. I presume it. That means that I'm going to think about it for a second first. So find the courage to ask questions. Communication with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstanding, sadness, and drama. Okay. How do you do that? So first of all, when you're going to ask your question, you're not going to do it through email, direct message, text, anything you have to type. No. How many times have you gotten a text that you totally took wrong? Or how about the text of, you know what you read, but they're saying, no, I'm taking it the wrong way. It'll never work. Those are conveniences. That's not communication. The only time you're communicating is when this hole in front of your face is moving. Okay? Communication isn't just about me talking. It's the fluctuation in my voice, how I sound, what I'm doing. I would prefer face to face rather than even just talking on the phone. And with this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. It's true. You can. Hey, you said this, and I was curious about it. Can you expand on it a little bit? Okay. Great example. I don't know much about MAT. Not a person, MAT, medical assisted treatment. It's more on the drug side. I wasn't into drugs. So I have somebody coming on the show to teach us about it. I learn just like you guys do. Okay. But what I do is I go out and learn it and then I come back and teach it, is what I do. Because I really enjoy doing that. I love getting the correct knowledge and passing it on. All right. Here's a tough one. The last agreement. Come on, get over there. Always do your best. Man. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. And that's true. There's sometimes I get psyched to do the daily trudge. I sit down and do it. I'm like, I don't want to. I do it anyway, obviously, because I'm still here, right? And it's going to change from day to day. Tomorrow, you may not feel like you get as much as you did today. Okay. So, what does this mean? We're going to always do your best a day at a time. That's what that means to us. Okay. Is doing your best at this moment. Okay. And that can change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. And healthy here meaning, in his case, mental and emotionally. In our case, we're going to have to throw spiritual in there too, right? We have to be spiritually healthy, and we should work on it before anything else, because our spiritual sickness can affect those other areas. So if we work on our spiritual sickness, get closer to God, a lot of our problems, they just disappear, they go away, because we work on them. Sometimes there's still more, right? But we're not in that discussion here. Okay. Under any circumstance, simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. The four agreements sound simple, and they are, but try just keeping one for an entire day. Oh yeah, asshole, I do this every day. Don't challenge me, right? I like that though. They challenge you. They challenge you. Let's cover these again. So, how do you always do your best? For us, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to do it by being impeccable with your word. That means you're going to speak with integrity. You're going to talk about what you know on. And unless you're causing more harmony than confusion, go ahead. But if you are causing more than confusion than harmony, you keep your mouth shut. Simple? Yeah. Ask your gut. So be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. You are not the center of the universe. People are not intentionally going out just to hurt you. That is paranoia. And I understand it too. That doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you spiritually sick like the rest of us. You're not alone. Don't make assumptions. Don't assume. Presume. You don't know what's going on with their life. And just because somebody said something doesn't mean that's exactly what they think on it. Maybe you took it wrong. Who knows? Ask a question, but be impeccable with your word when you're asking that question. And of course, always do your best. How will you know if you're doing your best? Ask your tummy. Is it happy? Yes, you're doing your best. Is it happy? No. Maybe you're not doing your best. Can you change that today? I don't know that I can. Then we come to the agreement that we're like that today, but we can still do the best that we can. The other day when I was having a hard time, I still did the best that I could do that day. It wasn't like today. I feel like I'm doing better today. But does that mean that that message the other day was any less important? No. It wasn't. It was just as important, if not as important as this one, because I was being impeccable with my word and what was going on with me. How you doing today, Dion? Oh, not too well. Thank you for asking. Is there something that, would you like to talk about? I have somebody I'm going to talk to about it. See, that's what I did. I knew what was going on. So I did something about it. I took action on it. And by the time nighttime rolled around, I felt better. And I went the day without having to owe an amend to anyone. That's motherfucking progress. Sorry about the swearing, but it is. It's progress. So, another announcement. 5 days I'm going to be celebrating my birthday at my Zoom meeting. Jerry, I'd give you the information, but I have a feeling you're going to be there. So Saturday at noon, I'm going to be celebrating my 6 years. Just going to be a regular meeting, but I will be there if you want to come and celebrate. I would appreciate it, and I would love to see all my friends there. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it today for the Daily Reflections. Thank you for being here, Jerry. It was always good to see you. Um, very close friend of mine. Jerry's coming up on a year, and I am so. You're just not the person that you were. Um, you've turned into a beautiful young lady. You really have. I love you guys. Peace out and have a day.